mamma si rimane the couch e non wanna move. Chiamasto mio figlio, a colma testa dura, e sedere what's a man. I do something for you. Gonna refrigerator and I tell you what to do. I say to him, fammi un sandwich, e mette pulla e mi mortadella. Fammi un sandwich, e pure provolone mozzarella. Fammi un sandwich, I know it nothing since last night. So taglia sto pane italiano, fammi un sandwich e make a nice night.
Hello, everybody, and thanks for watching and listening to the Italian American Entertainment Podcast. And I'm your host, Vince Chiarelli. And today we have Carlo Russo and Lou Greco. And they are the two very funny comedians behind the Uncle Louie Variety Show. And they've been making people laugh for quite a few years now. And they have some hilarious videos and songs that bring back memories of how it was to grow up Italian. And so welcome, guys. How are you?
Hey, Vince, what's going on?
How are you?
Thank you for having us, brother.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming. And I'm excited to be doing this today. And you are the first Italian American Entertainment Podcast.
We are so humbled and privileged ones. And thank you for giving us this first show.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm an Italian American musician, and I didn't want to make this site just about music because there's more entertainment than just music, of course. And you guys were one of the first ones that came to my mind because little shout out to my Aunt Nina and Aunt FIFA, old Italian nicknames, but Aunt Nina, they a couple years ago now, I was at my grandma's house and they pulled out a cell phone and said, "Watch these two guys," and that's how I found you guys. And it was the Goza Fatuza. Was it Goza Fatuza song?
Goza Fatuza, yeah, that was a good song.
Yeah, so that was my first intro to you guys, and ever since my family's loved you guys. So, but
well, thank you. We
thank you to your whole family.
Yeah, thank your family.
We appreciate that. That's actually how people are starting to call us now. You know, like, I heard from my cousin, my family, the whole family watches you. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
we do. Not to make it all sicky sweet, but you know, it's all a big family anyways, right? The whole Italian community. And
that's right.
And we take everybody. We don't, and we'll get into that. We're not just Italian, pro-Italian. Anyone can enjoy what we're doing.
Right.
And all of the Italian comedians out there. So we open it up to everything. We open it up to anybody.
There's a lot of different cultures that enjoy the show. When we were the live show, we had a lot of different people, like Portuguese, French,
Asian.
Canadian, French Canadian, like everybody. They love the show because they can relate no matter what. It's not just an Italian, if you're ethnic, or it's not just an Italian thing. It's Italian,
It's the idea is there. Everybody can,
but everybody knows it.
And we write knowing that. We write to make sure everyone can be inclusive,
Right.
So.
Yeah, no, and like my wife, I didn't marry an Italian, and I'm glad I spread.
And you're still alive?
You know what? I'm doing my family tree right now, and I'm kind of glad I didn't marry an Italian because there's a lot of ins and outs there in old school Sicily. So I spread.
Oh yeah, we got everything in us, brother.
Amazing how the tree goes sideways. We got such a wide tree.
We got every ethnicity. We have every country, every continent going through us.
Exactly. But with my wife, so she comes from a Jewish family, and even with you guys, now we've been together, almost 11, 12 years, so she kind of gets some of the slang and the Italian. I'm Sicilian, so my family's all Sicilian slang, and so she gets it. But even watching you guys, even though she doesn't understand some of it, she gets it because of the Jewish culture is very similar.
Well, that's what we were just saying. Yeah, trying to keep it for everybody to understand.
Right.
And it works.
Especially with the guilt.
Guilt, yes. We both have the Jewish and the Italian.
Every culture has guilt. Yeah. It's just how much.
Exactly.
Some are taught guilt, some are born with guilt. So it's just a little.
So, well, to start out with, where are you guys at now? Where are you from? And then where in Italy do you guys trace your ancestry back to?
Yeah.
Well, we grew up in Syracuse, New York, central New York.
Okay.
The hub of Italian, right?
Italian commerce.
Culture, right. No.
But there's a lot of Italians in Syracuse, Rochester, and central New York. There really is. But my father is from Mendocino, Calabria, which is the province of Cosenza.
Okay.
And my mother is from Spada Porta, Sicily, so I'm half Sicilian, half Calabrese. So think about that.
There you go. Yeah.
I was born in Italy. I was born in Palermo, Sicily. I'm full-blooded like yourself. What does full-blooded Sicilian mean? No, it doesn't really mean anything. But
no.
I'm Sicilian, born in Palermo, and came to America in 1972.
Oh, wow.
Obviously, my mom and dad. I came with my mom and dad and my older brother. So
Wow,
we've been
very
here
cool.
for a long time, and I actually just became an American citizen a year ago.
Oh, wow. Congratulations. No, I'm trying to get the dual citizenship. So,
Are you? Yeah.
yeah, I was looking into it. My mom was born in Sicily, too. We're from Aragona, Agrigento area. But
Argento, yeah.
yeah, my grandma's from Palermo. So,
Awesome. Palermitani. That's good.
That's
Now,
right.
our third guy, our manager, he's from Catania.
Oh, okay.
So, Sicily.
Yep.
Catania and Palermo, they don't get along. So
No.
we get along.
Oh, yeah, exactly. You like Pani Panelli, I'm assuming?
Oh, my God.
It's
I
the
miss it.
greatest thing.
Yeah, I just saw that the other day on YouTube or something. Somebody had panela, and I'm like, oh my God, we used to bring it to the Amada. We used to have
Yeah.
them on the beach, and so good. So
Yeah,
good.
I spent a month in Palermo when I went 10 years
Yeah.
ago. And yeah, Mondello and all that. My cousins are all out there, so it's beautiful there. But-
Yeah, no, I was born in Palermo, and we lived in Castella Mare del Golfo.
Oh, okay, cool.
So right on the So it was beautiful place. So that's our history, I
Cool.
guess.
So how did you two meet then? How did you guys come together?
High school in Italian class.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ninth grade.
You want to get 100 and something? You go to Italian class. Yep, I'll take it. That's an easy 100.
We had the best teacher. He spoke Italian to us. He knew we were Italian. We had about 4 people in the class that spoke Italian, and he kind of let us do what we wanted.
Wow.
So Louie and I would go in the back of the when he didn't split us up. We would go in the back of the room. We would write jokes. We would write like little skits. We'd go back to my house in the basement, of course. That's where we lived. And we would act them out. We would put them on tape back then because we are old. And then it got into VHS and all that good stuff. So that was
Wow.
We've been doing this for over 36 years.
Wow. No, that's great.
Comedy.
Yeah.
Not
Well,
the Italian thing.
yeah, and a lot of people, not coming from the Sicilian or Italian culture, I'm sure you guys just hit it off right away back then. And
Oh, God.
you're like brothers, I can tell
Knew
on the
each other.
videos. So, yeah. So that's cool.
Yeah, our parents knew each other, and so yeah, it was easy. When everybody has a similar background, it's very easy to just start talking and go, oh yeah, oh you do that too.
Yeah, so this came very naturally.
Yeah,
We started this 11 years ago, something like that. And then about 9 years ago, we put it on YouTube.
not even. We put it on Facebook, our own personal Facebook.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah.
2011.
Facebook in 2011
Wow.
as a character. And then we started building from there. And then we built a couple other characters. We got the women characters, Tia Maria and Tia Rosa now.
Yeah.
We're going to have a couple more characters
Yeah.
coming in this year.
Cool.
That we're thinking about, and they'll be just as funny or funnier. And we just build it from there, and we just kind of build a family. And the best thing about it is when we travel, when we go city to city, we treat everybody like family, because that's the way they should be treated. They come to the show, if they get it, they understand it. People are laughing. They have memories, and it's like one big nonna's house.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, that's great.
That's how
Yeah,
it is.
you basically answered my next question, which was, when did you start performing together and everything? So 9 years ago,
Oh,
then
God.
was the first video. Then.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
the first video of this genre, right?
That's
Like
cool.
I said, we've been doing videos since we were 14 years old.
Right.
Yeah, but
So-
Italian stuff, 2011. And again, to go back on when we did this, we had no idea what we were doing. We were doing it for no one but our friends and family. Our first view was, I think, 3. Honestly, on Facebook, we put on our personal pages.
A little more than that.
First day, 7.
7. Yeah.
So it would build and build, and we would go around town, having drinks or go out to eat, run into friends, going, "Oh my God, your last thing on video was so funny," and it would build that way.
And it was funny because I had one guy a few years after that say, "What are you guys doing this for? What do you guys?
Why would you do this?
Why would you do it? And what's in it for you?" I'm like, "I just want to make people laugh. That's it."
Right.
And then we went to Australia.
And we got booked to
And
Australia.
I come next year and go, and he's like, "What is going on?" Yeah, we're touring Canada next month. So.
So
That's
we'll
crazy.
send
So,
him our new song.
yeah. So the Australian thing, I'm just finding out. I never knew a lot of, especially Sicilians went to Australia.
And Calabrese.
I had no idea. I guess they went to another island, but kind of makes sense. But it's interesting.
My theory is Italians went to Australia to visit, but when they realized how long it took to get there, they just said, "Screw it, we're staying," and they just got pregnant and had babies, and
that's it.
Yeah, so I think they got stuck there on vacation, and it took us like 36 hours to get there.
Yeah, I hate flying, so I right there.
Oh, you would have loved this.
Italy was enough for me. 5-7 hours. I was like,
that's nothing. We could do that in our.
We went the wrong way. We went through Europe to go over there.
We went opposite,
and it was a mess. It was 34-hour flight time. 34 hours flight time.
We were in the Middle East, for God's sake.
By the time we got to Australia, I almost stayed there myself.
That's what happens. You get stuck there, go, I'm done. I guess I live here now.
Well, it takes...
I guess I'm Australian.
What, you're a day in the future, too, once you get there?
Yeah,
so it's like
16 hours in the future or something like that.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's crazy. So other than just, our Italian lives and how we were brought up, was there... like the big one now everybody names is Sebastian Maniscalco. That's more current. But back when you guys were starting, was there like an Italian American that kind of influenced you on the comedy side?
Not really.
No.
It wasn't. There wasn't really. I think we just started doing it. I started writing words of the day, like my father would say it, and it was written. And then Carlo and I got together and we're like, let's put.
Because we always put things to video. So
why not put this to video? Okay. So that's how it started. And it just started getting more and more popular. And then that was it.
We ended up with Italian heroes, right?
We did a few shows. And personally for me, it was Don Rickles. But I did like the Dean Martin comedy show. Yeah, I liked Carlo Burnett, those type of variety shows. And Carlo and I got together and I love that idea of having a variety show where we could do sketches, songs, stand up. We can do everything all at once.
Not just one thing. I go back to like he said, my first comedy thing that I fell into was Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis, the whole variety. I'm a huge Jerry Lewis fan. Obviously, Dean Martin was singing, but he's such he was such a character as well. Yeah. And then the Rat Pack, the whole thing, the whole way they used to deal with comedy and music and talent. They were exactly what we wanted to be. They could do everything and they do it well. The variety shows were exactly what we wanted to put together again.
And it was more of the Rat Pack was more of a chill.
Right.
When you watch them in concert, they're just chill. You laugh before they even talk.
Right. Oh yeah.
Before they sing, just a smile or just an eyebrow raise or something like that, just make you start laughing.
Well,
and you know you're gonna have a good time.
I think that's a lot of the even Sebastian nowadays. He can with his facial expressions.
He's
fantastic.
Half the crowd goes nuts. Just he doesn't even need to say something. So,
he figured it out. Figured it out. He is outstanding in what he does. He's a master of it. Everything.
Yeah.
The whole attitude.
So
and the writing, of course.
Oh yeah, but so with your music, because I discovered you guys with the first song. So I see you play the accordion and you play the guitar. So who taught you guys, or did you just teach yourself?
Oh, I had lessons when I was 6 years old because I couldn't. I went to my dad and I said, "Can I play guitar?" And he said, "You can play accordion." And then I said, "Can I play the trumpet?" And he said, "You could play accordion." So I played the accordion.
Yeah.
I wish I learned.
I remember my first guitar. I was at school. I was in middle school. A friend of mine said his brother was selling a guitar. He's getting a new one, selling a guitar. I go, "How much?" He goes, $5. I go, "I'll buy it." I took, I grabbed $5, wherever I got it from. The next day, he brought it in a black garbage bag, hands it to me. And I didn't know how to tune it. I didn't know. I probably had 4 strings missing. It didn't matter. I got home and I started strumming it. For about a week, I strummed it. My father finally just stopped everything. He goes, "Listen." And this is all in Italian. They don't speak English. He goes, "Listen." He goes, "There's 2 things that are going to happen." He goes, "1, I'm going to throw that away. Or 2, you're going to get lessons." So I went with the latter. So I took lessons for a little bit, but I took it from an old Italian guy who taught me Jingle Bells, and I wanted to do Van Halen and Led Zeppelin. So I quit that real quick and just kind of fumbled through it. So that's That's about it.
Yeah, that's how it was. You know, my uncle, so I have a band. I'm the singer, guitar player, but my uncle is the bass player. And that's how it was. He went to a guy named Johnny Perazzo, another Italian guy. And it was all just Maria Elena or Tickety Ticketa, the same song over and over.
Yeah.
And it was, my uncle's just like, I don't want to play any of this. So he never, in the end, I ended up teaching him a lot with the bass. But that was the same with me, Aldi La, nonstop with my grandfather. That's all, the only song I think he ever taught me was the one Italian song.
Because the Italians always knows, oh, I got a friend of mine. Got a friend of mine, you go over there, you do for free. Yeah, of course it's for free because they're playing Jingle Bells.
Yeah, unfortunately, I wish mine was for free. We were paying this man. So, but that didn't last long. So, you know, and again, guitar is not like, oh my God, I'm a guitar. I don't even say I'm a guitar player. I do enough to get the songs going. I stopped for 20 years playing, you know, had families and all, you know, whatever. So for me, I don't go around going, I'm a guitar player. We play the chords. It's more comedy. Right. It's more comedy than trying to put an orchestra together.
Nice, simple, catchy tunes. Just like the old Lou Monte type.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Lou Monte, you know, jiggity jiggy.
Three chords, and they have hits.
Exactly.
Sound like a donkey. It's all about the lyrics and the old
feel and
old folk music, Italian. That's what we do.
That's what we do.
You guys do a good job, though, for playing. You do good. But speaking of Lou Monte, I had never known. I played at actually in New York for the first time in Ulster County. I don't know if you guys know where that is, but like an hour and a half north of the city. And we were driving up, and I was like, man, I'd been to New York City before, but I was like, this is beautiful. And so we flew in, played the festival, and flew back out. So we're driving up. We're like, this is beautiful, but who's going to be out here? And we got there, a beautiful Italian festival, a lot of Italians. I was so surprised. And all of a sudden, we're backstage with this guy, and we're like, yeah, so, oh, you're playing? Oh, yeah, okay. And then all of a sudden, somebody's like, this is Lou Monte's son. I was like, who would have even thought? But Lou Monte's son lives up there in New York. Very, very cool guy. He does
is he a singer or comedian or all?
He's actually a drummer, but he sings too. So he did a great job. His band played, and we got to watch him. So yeah, it's cool. I don't know if you'll see him
anywhere. We grew
up
with Lou Monte, and
so did I. Yeah.
You know, everybody.
That's a staple of the Italian American.
Pino Churuscello.
You got to know all these, right?
Oh yeah. So I'm assuming a lot of it's from your family, grandparents, parents. But so who was the inspiration for some of the characters, like Pasqualino and Uncle Louie? Was it just your family, or did you kind of take bits and pieces from other people?
Yeah, I'll start with that because Uncle Louie's the biggest one that came out of it. But with Pasqualino is kind of actually, why don't you go Uncle Louie first, and then I'll do Pasqualino because that'll make sense.
Yeah, I mean, the Uncle Louie it's 90% my father because he was crazy. I mean, all Italian dads are crazy in a great way. You know, it's like we grow up and we smile, we laugh at some of the things. Now, back then we didn't laugh because we were getting our asses kicked. But now we laugh at it, but we know how, because they're always passionate about whatever it is. You know, we didn't know what we were doing ever. Okay, according to them,
even if you're 45 years old,
we didn't know what we were doing. Yeah. We were stupid, you know. And you know what? We ended up proving it. We would do something. You go, you're going to fall. You're going to fall. See, you fall. Why? That's stupid. Why? So all the stuff, that's 90% my dad and how he would react to certain things. And then the other 10% was my nonno, all my crazy uncles. I love them to death. They were just, and you mix it all in and you have Uncle Louie.
Yeah. Well, with Pasqualino, the thing is, because we did Uncle Louie for, probably 2-3 years before we did any other character.
Oh, wow.
Add on any character. So what we wanted to make sure was that we didn't put two of the same characters out there. Another Uncle Louie, you know what I mean? Because then you already got that. Right. So with Uncle Louie, a lot of people get drawn into because they say, this is my father's, my nonno, this is my uncle. It's a real emotion. Right. It's a real person they can put behind it. So what I want to do, because coming from Jerry Lewis and the slapstick stuff, I want to do like a crazier uncle, somebody who's so not real, but at the same time has a lot of real stuff that other people do in it, right? So we wanted to make him out of control a little bit, but still lovable, where he's not doing anything, like Louis says, it's never out of harm.
And we were like molding him in the beginning, and I said, well, how are we going to? Yeah. And I remember him sitting, watching TV, and this is what happens to either one of us. We'll get an idea, we'll call each other, like, hey, what about this? So I'm watching TV, and I heard something drop behind me in my kitchen. So I look back and I see my island, the counter of the island. And in my head, I pictured Pasqualino, just his face sticking up, because he's that short, they make him just his face sticking up. Oh, like you just see this though. And I was dying. I was laughing. I said, oh my God, I called him up right away. I go, let's put what we have in Pasqualino and make him like this little guy.
Right. So the funny thing is, when he did this, it was our first Pasqualino video. If you watch the first one, it's the weightlifting one.
It's called the pure protein powder.
Right. You'll see Pasqualino, and he's more like a father, like my father, like go to work with a spoon hitting you and more. And then I thought, you know what? He's evolved. He actually evolved to what he is now, which is just like a hard hearing, doesn't really lovable, doesn't speak English well, so he screws up a lot of words.
Right.
So he's kind of like my father, but not really, because my father's not that crazy like that. But he's more made up. He's more like a character, where his is more a personality.
Right.
So mine's like a cartoon, where his would be a real person. That would be if you're going to write it, Our aunts, obviously our parents, our moms.
Yeah, aunts. No. It's like a storybook with the ants that you guys do. It's exactly my aunts. To be honest, I love the Uncle Louie and everything, but the ants is my favorite personally.
Oh yeah, we get a lot of people like that.
You're not the only one.
Man, when I saw that with I have a Zia Maria. I did have a Zia Rosa, but she lived in Arizona. But the Zia Maria thing, oh my gosh, it's just like exact. I was watching the one. When you're in the church, I watched that yesterday. I was like, geez.
We always have the one, like the Tia Rosa is always she's the bold.
Right.
The bold one, and they always have a bold Tia, and then you got one that's nervous.
Yeah.
And they both.
Nervusa, yeah. My
Right. But at times they go back and forth too, because
that's true.
Rosa can be nervous and faint and all that. So they kind of intertwine, but it's so much fun doing it. The only thing is, of course, we always say, the ones that are popular, the ones that we have to put a bra and a dress on. Thanks.
That's how it always is. Exactly.
I never thought I'd be car. Your bra's crooked. Your bra's crooked.
Or we're backstage and go, dude, I think you got my bra on. No, wait, that's mine. Hold on. When we met each other in 9th grade, we never thought.
Where are my tits?
Yeah.
Where are my tits?
That's your boobs. They're mine. So, and then it's we hate each other every time we see each other in it. We're like, why do we do this? Why do we do this?
Where's my lipstick?
What? And then Tony Napoli, Tony, you talk to Tony Napoli.
Yeah.
He just looks at us and goes, you guys are disgusting. Ugly girls. So, he reminds us how pretty we are.
I couldn't do it. I can't even sing in falsetto when I'm singing because I think it's weird. So, good. More power to you guys.
But once we get out there, we have a ball with the Zias, because we can get away with so much with the Zias.
It's true. I grab people in the
absolutely. We steal stuff
in the crowd and just put them against my bosom.
He buzzing like that,
like they do back in the old days. You're like, oh God.
It's kind of like your Zia Maria gets as close as Pasqualino gets close with the girls and guys, because he starts touching them too. So we have fun. We have fun on stage.
Yeah, no, when the first time I saw your song first, but then I saw an Uncle Louie skit, and it was probably one of the broken English things. And the first word out of your mouth, you sounded exactly like my great-grandfather, No Nonino. As soon as you talked, I was just like, how? See, before all this comedy stuff, like you guys, and then there's some other ones that are doing it a lot in Canada, and it's just amazing. Growing up, there was no internet, even for me. Right. I mean, it was so it's now the past 5-10 years that this is happening. So it's amazing to me growing up, because my mom was born there. Everybody in my family, they don't speak English. My grandparents, everything. So I'm a little different, even though I'm younger. But it was always amazing to me that it's not just Rockford, Illinois, that it was my family, that it's just like the people in Canada sound exactly like how my broken English people and you guys in New York. So it's amazing to me that it was just, they all came over here, even though they went separate ways. It's just that the culture stayed the same. And some of these words, that was one of my next questions is, did you grow up, maybe not you, Carlo, because you were born in Sicily, but did you grow up thinking some of the broken English Italian words were actually real words? Because I did. Still to this day, I don't know what's real or not.
Yeah, kind of. A few of them, but it's just, I kind of knew my dad. See, here's the thing. My mother speaks perfect English. Okay, so she went to school here, speaks perfect English. My father was broken English, so I kind of knew there was a difference.
Okay.
So it wasn't like they both spoke broken English. If that was the case, I would have probably done a lot
You would have
more.
spoke like that.
Right.
But I think I knew more because my mother was, she went to school here.
Right. Yes. Yeah. I didn't notice. I didn't know I was saying anything wrong because I speak Sicilian. If I'm speaking anything that Northern Italians don't understand me. A lot of Rockford, though, where I'm from, is Sicilian. So, and we're all from one town, Aragona, Sicily. This whole town is from Aragona. So we all talk to each other in this accent. But when I went to Sicily and I was in Palermo with my grandma's cousins, where's the Bucauzu? And they're like, what the heck is the Bucauzu? And I'm saying the Bucauzu, and I had no idea that was not the real word for bathroom.
Oh, yes.
It's like saying queca, mangiamo la queca, o carro, la cecca, scrivi la cecca.
Ujoku.
Yeah,
exactly.
So that's those words, yes. We even thought, I thought that was real.
I had no idea all those years. It's still to now when my two grandfathers are gone, but my grandmothers are still alive, and one of them speaks really broken English. And so when my mom is speaking to her, half the words are now I look at her and say, "There's no carro." That's not the word. But I grew up.
Queca. I love queca. It's the best. I didn't know it was la torta forever. I was like, I thought it was a queca.
Yeah. But my wife is always like, just speak Italian to these people. It's just like, they're not going to know, especially if they're Napolitani. It's like, what am I going to say to these people? They're not going to understand me.
I got a funny story. I was 15 years old. I went to Italy. We used to go every year almost. And he went a bunch of times with his family. But I was 15 years old. I went to Sicily, obviously back to my home. And I was with my brother. My cousins were there. And we all decided to take the train to Rome. So we go to Rome and we go into one of these hotels. And we go up there, and we're all proud of ourselves, and we start speaking Sicilian or Italian, what we thought.
Right.
And the guy is like totally lost. He looks at it, he goes, "You speak English?" We're like, "Yes." He goes, "Good. What do you need?" He goes, so Sicilian to Italy, they had no clue what we were saying.
Oh,
we were just like, we just chopped every word. We used our own words. So I get it. It's tough.
Still to this day, I don't know how to say orange juice. It's orange juice. That's how my grandmother said it.
Orange juice.
I don't know what it is.
It's from my father. He would put an H in front of it. Harancha juice.
Yep, that's my grandmother.
You want some harancha juice? It's from the horn.
It would be arancina. What would it be called?
Arancina.
Arancina.
Yeah, that would be orange juice. Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, so kind of following. I haven't seen all of your skits, of course, because you have so many. But other than
that's your homework tonight.
I'm going to watch all. I would watch all of them, but I have a 4-year-old son who, when I try to watch this stuff, I can't watch anything because he's just all over it.
It's the easiest way to do it, honestly. Not in one day, of course, but YouTube, the Uncle Louie Variety Show YouTube. Just kind of go, and then just go through them at your leisure,
So the one thing that my wife kind of wanted me to ask you guys, she brought this up because she thinks it's hilarious with us, especially the Sicilians, but the superstitions that we have. I don't know if you guys do any skits with these superstitions, but
we are working on one with the Malocchio, and we want to make sure it's good because there's so many.
Everybody's doing them,
with the oil and everything else, and
and this. And
it's
that.
coming.
I just didn't know if you guys. The one big one in my family. My wife's a nurse, and it's the don't go outside. You just took a shower. You're gonna get sick. And my wife, the first time my wife heard that, she's like, "That's not how you get sick." I was like, "That's not how you get sick." I was like, "I didn't know." My whole life is you got wet hair, you're gonna catch pneumonia and die. So
yes,
the weirdest story that ever happened to me in my life. We went to Sicily. We're staying at my cousin's house, and it was don't leave the windows open with the draft because it's horrible.
You get a cold. Yeah.
With the cold, but her husband had died, and she said, I had to move houses twice because if you leave the window open, he comes inside the ghost. And I was like, this is nonsense. Well, there's no air conditioning. There's no air conditioning. So me and my cousin Danielle are in the same room. It's the middle. It was hot, summer. So Danielle, she goes, we're just going to open the window.
Yeah.
Swear to God. No, my cousin didn't know. We opened the window. Swear to God. I woke up that night. We're in the same room. I woke up, I saw...
And your cousin was dead, no?
No, there was some guy sitting, like, on the edge of the bed. And I was just like, I'm hallucinating, I'm going to go back to sleep. Next morning, I wake up. I don't say anything half the day. Then me and my cousin just look at each other, and she looked at me and she's like, "Did you see a guy in the room last night?" I was like, "What happened?" And then we had to tell my cousin. She's like, "That's it. I told you we can't have the window up. I got to move again because he's back."
It's weird. You know who that was? That was her realtor. That's how he gets all
the commissions.
He's working on number 3.
But that was the weirdest superstition that actually came true.
I've never heard that one. The windows. I gotta ask my mom.
Yeah.
I gotta ask my mom about that one.
But
that's crazy.
So what do you guys think is the future for us Italian Americans that are here still in the country with entertainment? Like, and what do you hope to see?
Hopefully, we got about 20 years left of this. And
so he's talking personally. Yeah. He's talking in general.
Like, what would you like to see from, like, if you guys have kids or like my kids? Like, I kind of see what I want. Like, I'm starting to train my 4-year-old, like singing Che La Luna and keeping the stuff going down.
I want to start this because I had a discussion. Crazy that you said that. I had a discussion yesterday with my oldest son. His name is Natali. I was telling him, I said, what we're trying to do is keep our generations from not forgetting the past. Because I was talking and I said, the problem is, as the older generation dies off and the language, like the Italian language, is not being taught to the kids, eventually there won't be any. There won't be any difference between an American Italian or an American because nobody's speaking it. Nobody understands. The people have died off. The traditions are gone. And the thing is, when I immigrated here, it was 1972. A lot of Italians were still immigrating. Nowadays, there's no immigration from Italy. You're not getting the new Italians coming to America and keeping to traditions. So what we want to do, what the comedians, I think, are doing and want to do is keep everybody going with the traditions and remembering how we lived. So now the kids that come to our shows, the 13 to 15-year-olds, now they're remembering, oh my God, this is what you guys want. This is what you grew up with. We want that. We want that tradition. So my answer is I would want this to keep the Italian heritage going and keeping the young kids interested in what the past was so we can never lose it. I don't want to be lost in America, our Italian culture, because eventually it could be. If you don't, because nobody's speaking Italian anymore. My kids, unfortunately, they don't even speak Italian. And my parents speak Italian. That's all they speak. And still they don't. And I'm just scared of their generation and their kids. It's just going to get further and further. So my hope is that we carry on the tradition through the show and through Italian comedy.
I think you are.
Yeah, we just keep the roots alive. You know, we just like. This is a perfect example. My son has no idea. Our kids don't have no idea of the trials and tribulations that are known as when they're running from bombs in Sicily. They're what they. My mother was born on the run. They don't even know which specific day she was born on because she was born in a barn when they were running from bombs. No running water for my nonna.
Well, that's Sicily
for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, there's no running water. So these are what these people went through. So then my son goes, my life. Oh, it's such. I'm like, man, if you say that word again, I will throw you out of this car.
My PlayStation's not working.
I don't want to hear that crap, or I can't do it. And I told him, I said, you come from a lot stronger stuff than that. And when I tell them some of the stories of what my grandparents and what my mother and everybody went through, my grandfather came over here with 5 girls, with nothing, So when I tell him these stories, that's when he knows I get pissed. When he tells me, he's irritated or I can't, or he gives me some bullcrap sob story about something. Because they have no idea. Once they learn that stuff, then they can appreciate where they came from.
Well, at least they know it. Then they can decide on their own what they're going to do with it. But hopefully, it's a respect.
And they appreciate where they came from.
We can't let this go. And it's easy to blend. Everybody says, let's blend. We'll be all one. But you can't get rid of, when I became American citizen, and there's a part where they say, you denounce your country's government.
Right.
And they said, when you're doing that, I felt like, wow, it's like I'm denouncing being Italian. They explained, no, we're not. You're not denouncing what you are. What you are makes America. And you never want to forget that we bring our cultures to America. And then it made me feel much better that they're not telling you to forget your Italian, forget your Irish, forget your this and that.
Right.
They said to embrace and then bring what you have to America. So that's what we want to do. We want to keep it going. So our kids have some traditions, and their kids have traditions.
Right. No, it's it's like you just said. I just found out I'm doing my ancestry with my family, and my great-great-grandfather came here 5 times from Sicily, back and forth, a 2-week journey in the bottom of the boat and the steerage, and it's just like, what the heck? You can't even imagine doing that nowadays. You cry driving an hour and a half into Chicago from here. It's just like, what the heck?
I mean, you learn so many things.
Yeah.
I mean, I learned stuff about my grandmother that blew my mind, that she came to America before anybody was born. She was a little girl, and they denied her because she had a lazy eye or something. I don't know. She needed glasses. And they told her to go back to America, but they let the rest of her family in, 6 sisters and a father. And you would think, okay, everybody went back to Italy. No, they all went in. They sent her back. They never came to pick her up. And that's crazy.
Yeah.
You learn this stuff more. Oh, my God, a little girl. Could you imagine? Could you imagine being 4 years old, 5 years old, 6 years old, and your family stays, and you got to go back, and now you got nothing back there. You're living with aunts and cousins.
Yeah.
And that's the stories people have.
Yeah.
But,
well, it's important what you guys are doing, because not only does it make us laugh, and non-Italians can laugh at it too and get it, like we talked about, but it's for us Italians that I was very close with both my grandfathers. Now they're gone. I spent a lot of time with them, but even though now they're gone, it's just like everything. You always wish, I wish I would have listened a little more deeper to that story, or paid more attention to the accent. And just because now, when, like I said, when you guys say something, it's just like, oh my gosh, it's the memory comes up. I'm sure you hear that all the time, but that's the important part of it, because
well, that's the goal.
Yeah, my kids and their kids aren't going to hear it.
I think the biggest thing that describes us in a nutshell is we celebrate growing up Italian.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's a nice little package there. Growing up Italian, everybody has their stories. Everybody has similar stories, and everybody has different stories. And we love to just share that. What we grew up with, you guys can relate to, and then you guys tell us stories. And sometimes it finds itself in the show. People say, you can use that one, or use this one.
How many after every show? We've got you got to use this one in your show.
I got a joke for you.
Every single show at the end, I got some for you. This is what happened to me.
We love that.
And I love listening to it, because there's always a connection. There's always a connection because it's happened.
And the funny thing is, their story might spark up something that happened to us. Going, oh my God, and then we write it.
And then we'll write it. We'll bring it back. Like, for instance, the one, the father driving with the Italian father. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah, I have.
That is a 100% complete reenactment of my father driving when I was 16. Okay, let's go. I was driving. He had this Eldorado. It was enormous, right? I'm driving this car 25 miles an hour, and he's screaming, hitting me, choking me, slapping me, just like, stop, you go too fast, go, stop, go, stop.
You're going fast, you're going slow, you're not,
I couldn't believe it at the end, and like, this is it. That's exactly what happened. Maybe there's a little bit that went over the top.
Oh, yeah.
But that's pretty much what happened. So
I remember my father was teaching my older brother. He got him so nervous, he smashed into a parked car.
I was just going to say, the funniest thing that ever happened, my grandma's still alive, and I'm sure she's going to watch this, and sorry, Nonna, for making fun. Yeah, sorry for making fun of it, but my first driving lesson, she drove me to show me how to drive, and so my future car is sitting in her driveway. Okay. She had a little turnaround spot, and it was sitting there, and I got a Buick Regal that was my dad's, and I was so excited, and she's in the car, she's like, this is how you back up. Boom, right in my car. And I'll never forget that. It's just like priceless, the way she was talking with the Sicilian. It's just like, oh my gosh. But
now you just back up to every car. I will stop this way. Why am I going?
Exactly. That's how
I'm in 300 accidents a day.
That's how my 5'1" grandmother taught me how to drive, to run into cars.
Great.
But, so anyways, I know we're getting close to the end here, but so why don't you, this is crazy times with COVID. I have a band, we're not playing. Everything's, canceled, and I'm sure it's the same for you, but, and we've played some of the similar Italian festivals, but what's next for the Uncle Louie Variety Show in general? And do you have any upcoming dates? I know that's probably going to be tough, but do you have anything coming up?
This Sunday, we're having a social distancing event. It's an outdoor event. Everybody's spaced apart. And we have
That's
a couple
happening.
of different things that's happening there. After that, it's really tough because New York just shut everything down.
Yeah, I heard about
so we're just keeping pushing with the social media event. We will probably have something like a virtual. We're writing a virtual show. Trying to put that together for
In a theater.
mobile fans.
Yeah.
And because that's really the only thing we can do right now. And it's, we have to eat,
Well, I was going to ask you, are you
We
guys...
ended up having 80 shows pushed to next year. This year we had 80 shows, and now we're pushed to next year. So now we got to figure out what we can do for the next 3 months. But we continue to be on a positive.
Just keep busy. Keep busy.
Keep the songs going. Keep the videos going. Keep everything going.
We're doing more. We're doing more podcasting. We're doing more shows. People being on other people's shows. Just building a community with everybody else, like you finding you or you finding us.
Right.
It gives us more opportunity that when we're on the road, maybe we wouldn't have this time to do that.
Right.
So it did open up a lot of avenues of things that we weren't doing before, like podcasts and
we have driving people to the website, the Uncle Louie Variety Show.com. And that's where we have some, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube. Our YouTube has more than anything else.
Yeah, follow that.
Because we push all of the videos over there. And there's a lot of things that Facebook completely erased. And we don't know why. And it's just gone. But YouTube, they don't do that.
I think for you too is if you really want, you can go down to YouTube and actually see our first videos where Uncle Louie is evolved into what he is now. Well, at the videos, sometimes you'll be just sitting like this, looking like Lou. So then we kind of just got smarter and made him into a character.
And it took a couple months to find that members only jacket.
Yeah. I was gonna say that members only jacket. That's priceless. That's exactly my great grandfather. That
took us over the top, actually.
Yeah, no, I called Carlo. I said, I got to get. What do you think, black or blue? I said the blue is just more. My father would always wear the blue one. The black, he would wear Sergio Valente to go up.
That's the
new one I'm trying to find.
That's the dancing one. But yeah, so we're keeping busy. Hopefully, the nice thing is not nice. The thing that we can keep us going is we hate to say all for us because everybody's going through it.
Exactly. A lot
of
people that are worse off.
Yeah, it's a whole team, and we're lucky enough to be in a good situation, family wise, and people helping and all that good stuff. So, I'm worried about the smaller places, the comedy clubs, the restaurants that will never open again. So that's
bakeries. We've done a lot of the bakeries with the cannoli review.
Oh right, yeah, no, that's a great idea.
These people they're just fantastic family owned bakeries.
And they need weddings. They need things to survive, and these things, weddings, they're not happening.
It's really tough.
I don't know what your guys' situation if you just do comedy nowadays, or if you do something else. But
that's our full time, yeah.
Yeah. So last year I actually was like, I'm going to do it full time, and I actually became a promoter too. So I was promoting shows here in Rockford and bringing big acts and all that to town. So picked the wrong year to do it, but there's still there's always a silver lining. I'm spending more time with my 4-year-old that I'll never get back, and training him all this stuff. Yeah. No. So I mean,
absolutely,
it's good.
There's also things too because people are going to be starved once this thing is done.
Yeah.
People are going to be starting to get out there and just have a good time and laugh because I think they're sick and tired of all this garbage, everybody's drama, all the BS. And then once everything goes away, they're just going to want to go out, let loose, and just laugh. That's it.
Yeah. Just keep doing what you're doing. We're going to keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And we'll all meet at the end and have a big old party, and everybody will do their shows, and hopefully we'll make some more people laugh and remember and
Yeah, well,
at the same time, we'll get some money there too.
Yeah. Well, when this is all over, for sure, there's so many Italians in Rockford. Rockford's a huge Italian, especially Sicilian. We'll have to get you out here. I was just going to say. We'll have to get you out here, and I was doing an Italian festival out here for a few years, so once we can do festivals again, maybe we'll have you guys out here, and hopefully my band and you guys can play the same festival again together.
Yeah, we'd love to. Yeah, that was collaborate on.
That was nice. Exactly. That was nice when we were in Chicago when you told us that. Yeah. So that was fun. And your band's name is?
Just my name, the Vince Chiarelli Band.
Oh, there you go. Put your name out there. Screw everybody. It's me. That's how I like it.
That's what my grandfather's band was, the Vince Chiarelli Combo back then, because it was 50s and 60s.
Nice.
I went band, and everybody's always like, you can't just use your name. No one's...
yes, you can.
Bands don't do that. I was like, oh, Garth Brooks didn't use his name. Madonna
Van Halen didn't do that,
What are you guys talking about? So,
no, God bless you, man.
Yeah, well, thank you guys again, and I'll put all the links to all your stuff, YouTube, Facebook, all that on this, and
awesome.
Keep me posted with any upcoming dates page too, on this new page. I just launched today with my first article, so I'll put an article up about you guys too and all that. I'll share everything on this page. So
fantastic. Thank you so much.
So, all right. Well, thank you guys, and you guys have a great rest of your day. And thanks for being on the podcast.
It was a pleasure. Great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Take care.
We'll be in touch.
I said to him, famine sandwich,